Hello, this is Cunion from the Center for Student Success with some test-taking tips for you today. Of course, one of the most important test-taking tips is to ensure that you're prepared before you get to the exam. In other words, study. We do have a good study habits video as well as some resources on our website, so you might want to reference those to make sure you're prepared. In this new online environment, you also need to be sure you're aware of what kind of test you'll be taking. Will it be an open book, open note test with no time limit? Or would it be something more proctored or even that requires a lockdown screen with a time limit? Those are going to change very much how you work through the test. If it's open book, open note, you still need to study and do many of the things I'm about to mention, but in particular, if it's proctored or requires a lockdown screen, you want to make sure to ask your faculty member if you are permitted to have a scratch piece of paper with you. If you are, when you get to the test, we recommend that you do a quick brain dump, which means that you're going to jot down everything you're afraid you might forget or that you often get confused so that you have that and can reference it as you move through the test and don't need to worry about forgetting it as you go. The other thing you want to do right off the bat is to ensure that you are reading all of the directions on the exam. You don't want to be answering 10 short answers if you only have to choose 5 of those 10. Not only is that a waste of time, but it makes it a lot harder for you. So be sure to read those directions and make sure you know what you're doing. Similarly, you want to make sure to read each question fully, especially on multiple choice questions. If you don't read it clearly, you might think you're giving the right answer, but really a different one is more appropriate for the question that's actually asked. As you move through the exam, you also want to note how many questions there are and make a plan of attack for it. So if there are 10 short answer and then 1 essay at the end, you need to decide for yourself, do I do the multiple choice first or the essay first? There are many different ways to think about it, but you want to have your own plan of attack that you feel comfortable with so you aren't stressed, especially as you get toward the end. You also need to make sure that you answer all of the questions on the test and go back through and double check that. Now, in determining which types of questions you answer first, everyone has a different philosophy. Some people choose to answer what they perceive as harder questions first and then do the easier questions. I recommend doing the questions you know well as quickly as you can, skipping ones you don't know, and then coming back to those at the end so you have a little bit more time to focus on those and aren't stressing yourself out about whether or not you can make it through the exam. Those are some really short tips for test taking. We've got some more resources for that on the website. And of course, everyone in the Center for Student Success is still here to be able to talk with you or meet with you if you have questions about test taking, studying, reading for comprehension, or other things. So reach out to us if you need some help. All right, thanks.